Okay, today we're going to discuss the power of three, or how to go diamond by going silver. Now, let's assume you're a brand new ambassador. If you're not a brand new ambassador, just listen for a few seconds. If you're a brand new ambassador, your first initial step is going to be you need to formulate a list. Get all your friends, contacts, neighbors, everyone that you know that you've met. Put them on a list. If you have people that you wouldn't necessarily want to go into business with, but you're still know them, put them on the list. And the reason for that is if you put them on the list in the future, when you put them on the list, you're going to think of other people in their circle, in that group. So in thinking about this person, I'm going to think of other people as well. So that's why you want to do that. Now, as you, when you have that done, first you're going to need to get your overall list. Then you're going to want to take 20 people off of that list. And you're going to want to, that's your closer group. That's the people that you're going to be signing up, working with, and going silver every month with. Then you want to pick your first three. Those are going to be your running buddies for the first month. Now what you're going to do with those is you're going to sign them up and you're going to start training them. You're going to teach them how to sign people up. You're going to teach them just what you know, how to get on the different group pages, all that different stuff. Just basically get them kick-started. Get them to the point where they understand the compensation plan, where they understand the products and what they do, what they can help with, what different testimonies that and different things. Just basically give them a basic understanding and train them so that they can go out the next month and sign up their three. So we're going to look at this in a 7-month format. And if you just did this one time and you just signed up one person, one month and quit, and trained the people what could happen and what probably will happen. So in the first month of July, right now it's July 16th, you sign up 3 ambassadors. So what happens is now you have 3 ambassadors trained. You train these ambassadors and they go out and they recruit their 3 ambassadors. Now you have 9 ambassadors on your second level, 3 ambassadors on your first level. You've got 12 ambassadors, halfway to gold. The next month you have 27 on that level and you have 39. Your overall number has more than doubled since the previous month. So you now have 39 ambassadors. You're now a gold ambassador. And you have 39 ambassadors in your downline in your first 3 levels. Now remember, all 39 of those ambassadors are going to be worth 5 pay points apiece, which I'll explain in another video. 5 pay points apiece, going to be worth about $15 a piece a month. Do the math. So then October comes, we have 81 on our 4th level. We now have 120 ambassadors total. In 4 months, we have 120 ambassadors. Now, November comes along, 363 ambassadors. Overall, 243 are on our 5th level. December, we have 729 ambassadors on our 6th level, and we have 1,902 ambassadors overall. Now, January, we now have 2,187 ambassadors on our 7th level, and we have 3,279 ambassadors overall. Now, that's a little bit far-fetched, assuming that everything goes well, that's how many you're going to have. But let's narrow that down and make that way more realistic. So, let's think, okay, in 7 months, I'm going to have, let's say, only 1% of my 3,279 signed up. So I'm going to end up with about 32 ambassadors. So I'm going to have 32 ambassadors. So, now, we're going to go into going silver every month. So in 7 months, I have 32 ambassadors. Let's assume that only 1% of my entire downline did this. Now, the percentage is going to be at probably at least 20%. But let's just, for comprehensive purposes, let's just say it's only 1% of all of this works for 7 months. So, you have 32 ambassadors. And that's the 1 month. So The next month, you went out and you recruited 3 more ambassadors. That's 32 more ambassadors. The next month, you went out and you recruited. So we're going to take 32 times 12. Okay, in 1 year's time, assuming only 1% of your entire downline did this, and it's probably going to be significantly higher than this, you would have 384 ambassadors in your downline. Now, let's say that's just ambassadors. So, we know that when we reach, that's going to be about, we're going to say that's going to be about 900 points. Emerald is 1,500 points in your downline. So, you would already be you'd be Senior Ruby, I believe. You'd be over Senior Ruby right now. And it's possible you could be Emerald. This is in your first 3 levels that if everyone was worth 5 points, you'd have about 1,500 points, which is Emerald, and you would be Emerald. You could be Emerald with that many people. It's not very likely. The chances of would be more like you'd be probably a Senior Ruby ambassador. But even so, you'd still be making a significant amount of money. But let's just say, let's skip out all building business bonuses, which you would get 100 for reaching silver, and then 250 for reaching gold, 350 for reaching senior gold, 500 for reaching ruby, and then 750 for reaching senior ruby. So let's just skip all that out, several $1,000s extra there, and we're just going to take this and we're just going to say, okay, 384 ambassadors. Sheila Medina says, and this is accurate, you can take out of your top, out of your seven levels, the first 3 levels are going to be worth they're going to be worth 5 points apiece. So every person is going to be worth about $15 a person. Right now, the pay point is worth about $3.50, so it'd be a little bit more than that, but we always like to round down. That way it's far more realistic and easier for the mind to comprehend. So the first 3 levels are worth about 5 points. Then they go all the way down, 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way down to 1. So if you average all those out, each person is going to be worth roughly $10 a person in your downline. So let's just say you have been successful. You've only gotten 1% of the people for 1 year. 1 year. 384 times $10 a person is $3,840 a month. And that's not counting the business building bonuses. Now, with this kind of a business, if you've trained your people to duplicate like this, if you have 384 people in your downline and people who are higher up, Ruby ambassadors, Gold ambassadors, whatever, they'll tell you once you hit about Ruby, Senior Gold, Ruby, in that range, you're going to find your business is probably going to multiply itself by 1/3 every month, somewhere in there. So, if you go 384, multiply that by 1/3, and every month your business is going to grow somewhere around that. So this number is going to grow by 1/3 every month as well. That's not counting the fact that pretty quick here you would reach if you aren't already, you would hit the Emerald Pool and you would achieve all the money that you'd be receiving from the Emerald Pool. So, I hope this was encouraging to you. You see that you don't have to, it's important. If you can be that person that goes out and recruits 20 ambassadors in your first month, then more power to you. But a lot of people struggle with this. A lot of people don't. A lot of people aren't successful in that. They're not able to get that many people. Most people are happy to just get that one. And we'll talk about the power of one another time. But if you can only get 1% of your people to do this, and you're training, and actually it'd probably be more like 20%. From what I've seen and studied. But if you only got 1%, you'd be making $3,840 a month in 1 year after that first initial 7 months. So within 2 years, you could be sapphire or diamond at this rate. And if you keep pushing at it like this, it would probably grow significantly faster than that. So, I hope this was encouraging to you. If you're struggling right now and you can't figure out what to do, go silver. Make your first goal to go silver every month. Make your first goal to go silver that first month. If you can only get that one first ambassador, or you've been working for a while and you've only had 1 or 2 ambassadors sign up and they're not interested in the business, then just keep plugging away. I went my first 3 months with only 4 ambassadors, and now I have I'm just under gold. My company is growing very quickly, and I'm expecting really great things out of what's coming up. So don't lose heart. Don't get discouraged. Keep at it, and you'll reap the benefits of a bountiful harvest later on.